After these past couple of videos here, and you guys discovering that I am a bass player, I figured the next best thing to talk about would be music. So, I'm going to talk about music and, artists that I enjoy listening to, um, bands I enjoy listening to, artists, and so on. So, I'm going to go ahead and dive into those. Now, first thing I do want to mention is I think that for any musician out there, one of the best things that you can do is to always have an open mind about music and different styles of music. Because to me, if you are a musician and you limit yourself to, say, just one certain style, you're going to limit yourself on a lot of things. So I'm a firm believer in that as a musician, you should listen to just about anything, and then really there is a lot of great music out there. So if you're a musician and you're closed-minded, please, check out other stuff. And you'd be kind of amazed what you can come across. Basically, I'm going to dive into all the different artists and things that I enjoy. I first want to start with my two most favorite bands, okay? And these bands are complete 180s of each other. The first and foremost favorite band, and this should be no surprise to some, considering that I'm a bass player, is Rush. I'm a huge fan of Rush. I love Geddy Lee's playing on bass. I mean, he is phenomenal. One of my all-time favorite bass player. Okay, so I did have the privilege of seeing them on their Vapor Trails tour. That was probably a decade ago. But Rush is my number one favorite band. And number two, this is the one that's going to probably shock you guys. Next favorite band is the country group Alabama. Basically, I was born in the 80s. Actually, 1980 is when I was born. And in our household, I heard two things. My sister listening to a lot of the 80s pop music at the time, Madonna, the hair bands, Poison and things. I'm sure it was Michael Jackson in there too. And the other one that I heard during the 80s was the country group Alabama. So I grew up with them. Just a great country band. Still making music and everything now, and they're pretty much getting into retirement age. But, I like them because they're just, they kind of have that country thing going on, but they also have some southern rock and rock influence as well. So, two favorite bands, Rush and Alabama. I'm going to just go through a list of some of the stuff that I have saved and pick out some of the ones that I really do like. And I did this for a reason because if I try to do it off memory, I have a feeling I'd probably leave some important musicians and artists out of there. So I've at least got my main list here. I can kind of go off of this and just start naming some of my favorites to you guys. And like I said before, my interest in the different styles, I like a lot of different things. So, because I kind of want to, show you guys some of the diversity there with that. First, I want to go ahead and talk just real quickly here about more of the bass stuff. As you all saw earlier, I like Rush, Geddy Lee, one of my favorite bass players. Some other good bass playing stuff that I do like. Victor Wooten, and him playing for Bella Fleck and the Flecktones, kind of like a little jazz bluegrass group. If you guys haven't ever heard of them, check them out. They are awesome. Bella Fleck and the Flecktones. Of course, the great jazz bass player Jaco Pastorius. I guess that's how you pronounce his name. I'm not 100% sure, but another phenomenal bass player as well. Some other ones, Les Claypool from Primus, I'll listen to them some. Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers, can't go wrong with Flea. I mean, an incredible bass player. Oh goodness. I'm sure I might be leaving some of them out, and I'm going to go through the list here, and I'll probably remember some of those. But those are some of the good bass stuff that I do like. From a guitar perspective, I will tell you right now, my number one is Stevie Ray Vaughan. One of my favorites is Stevie Ray Vaughan. Um, I do like Clapton, but Stevie Ray Vaughan always, to me, is my top pick. Um, Another great guitar player that I have just recently got into, well, maybe within the past year or so, is Gary Clark Jr. Amazing. Love listening to that guy. Um, let's see, as far as anything else, like I said, let me go through the list here and we'll kind of see what I come across and see what I have left out. So, let's see. One of my first ones on the list here, I do love these guys. It was probably about in high school, I think, when I really first started getting into these guys, I think. But Three Doors Down, love them too. They're a great band. Let's see. AC/DC, of course, can't go wrong with AC/DC. Aerosmith, love Aerosmith. Alice in Chains, I love Alice in Chains. Another one here is Alter Bridge. I did go through a big Creed phase back in the day. And of course, that it kind of fizzled away. But Alter Bridge is basically like Creed with a different lead singer, Miles Kennedy, amazing singer. So I do like them. Let's see here. I already said about Fleck the Flecktones. Let's see. I got Billy Idol, like Billy Idol, Billy Joel, love Billy Joel. Here's this next band my buddy Elmer kind of got me into. I don't listen to him as much, but I do like them pretty. They're pretty cool. Zakk Wylde's Black Label Society. I listen to them some. Of course, Black Sabbath. Can't go wrong with Sabbath. Blackfoot's one of the next ones on here. I love of most of the Southern rock bands, Leonard Skinner, all that kind of stuff. Blackfoot probably is one of my favorites. Honestly, I love Blackfoot. Kind of switching up here, some 90s stuff. Blessed Union of Souls, like them. Blind Melon, like them. Of course, Blink-182 is the next one on there. I like them too. Blue Oyster Cult, they're a cool one. I like them. Let's see. Another great one too, Blues Traveler. I love Blues Traveler. Brian Setzer Orchestra. Actually, Brian Setzer in general. I mean, he's kind of up there too as far as guitar players. I love listening to Brian Setzer. Get down. It's great. It's great stuff. I like Springsteen. Bachman Turner Overdrive. I like them, of course. I will say this much. I'm a huge fan of 70s rock. I mean, when it comes down to like, let's see, Doobie Brothers, the Eagles, Fleetwood Mac, Bachman Turner Overdrive, Grand Funk Railroad, and there's probably plenty of others, but I love 70s rock. Charlie Daniels Band. Like I said, I like Alabama. I like Charlie Daniels Band as well. They're awesome. Cheap Trick. I like Cheap Trick. Chicago. Love Chicago. Chuck Berry. You can't wrong with Chuck Berry. And he just recently passed away too. But still, great musician. This is an interesting one too. This is kind of doing a complete 180. Kind of a folksy, bluegrassy kind of group. Amazing duo, the Civil Wars. Check them out. They're incredible. I'm not sure if they're still together or not. I've heard mixed things on them, but I mean, amazing. It's a two-part harmony, a guy and a girl, and they're, just amazing. Civil Wars. Band here too that I've been into for a little while. Clutch. Check those guys out. They're pretty cool. Let's see here. Collective Soul. Love Collective Soul. Flipping back to country here. Colin Ray. List here. Dave Matthews Band. I like Dave Matthews Band. They're pretty cool. I don't like them as much as my sister, on the other hand. My sister loves Dave Matthews. But I like Dave. He's pretty cool. Kind of quick here. Hootie and the Blowfish. Love them. Huey Lewis in the News. Of course, being into Back to the Future and stuff. Can't go wrong with Huey Lewis in the News. I'm going to dip into some metal here. First one being Iron Maiden. Love Iron Maiden. And the next one being Iced Earth. They're an excellent band too. My buddy Elmer got me into Iced Earth. That's our arguments. Jaco Pastorius. James Brown. You know, of course, that's great. Janis Joplin, Jefferson Airplane, Jerry Lewis, Jet. I like Jet. Of course, Hendrix. Yeah, he's on there. You can't go wrong with Hendrix. John Denver. Love John Denver. Johnny Cash. Can't go wrong with Johnny Cash. Another blues guy that I kind of overlooked here. Since I mentioned Gary Clark Jr. earlier, Johnny Lang, amazing blues guitarist and you know, singer songwriter and everything, awesome. I love Journey. Oh, this one's a big one. I have to include this. Being a fan of Rush, and you know, any kind of progressive rock kind of stuff. You know, I'm always into that kind of stuff as well. An underrated band to me, and they have a fair number of hits. But, you know, I think when you look past the hits of these guys and listen to some of their other stuff, I mean, there's really some amazing things there. I'm talking about Kansas. I love Kansas. There's one that kind of Cassie was really big into, and I like her too. Lady Gaga, Led Zeppelin, Lenny Kravitz, Meatloaf. Love Meatloaf. He is awesome. Let's see, Megadeth, like Megadeth. Molly Hatchet. Here's some other country. Montgomery Gentry, like them. And back into metal, Motley Crue, Motorhead, like them. Peter Frampton, Pearl Jam. Of course, Paul Simon. Pink Floyd. Can't go with Pink Floyd either. I mentioned Promise earlier. Prince, of course, can't go wrong with Prince. Pure Prairie League, Queen, love Queen. Queens of the Stone Age, like them too. Radiohead, love Radiohead. Rage Against the Machine. Come back on the country thing here. Rascal Flatts, they're pretty good. Let's see, Sister Hazel. Yeah, they were pretty cool back in the 90s. Skillet, that's a great band too. And below Skillet is Slayer. So I love Slayer. Smash Mouth, like Smash Mouth. Soundgarden, I love Chris Cornell's voice. Amazing. I mean, his voice is just killer. I love it. Let's see, Stevie Ray Vaughan. I mentioned Stevie Ray Vaughan. Steely Dan, Steppenwolf, Steve Miller Band, Stone Temple Pilots, Styx, of course, can't go wrong with Styx. System of a Down, they're awesome. I like System of a Down. First bands was the Beach Boys. You know, they're kind of one of the early ones for me as well. Love the Beach Boys. And the funny thing is me and my wife kind of talk about, you know, she's a Beatles fan, I'm a Beach Boys fan, so we have this little thing going. I love the Beatles too, don't get me wrong, but I have a, you know, favoring towards the Beach Boys. Oh, this is another great band. Tool, love Tool. Toto, that's another great band. I love Toto as well. Let's see, Train. The name off AWOL Nation, great band. I love AWOL Nation. And this is one that Cassie got me into recently. We kind of discovered Flogging Molly. Just hilarious. It's like this whole Irish singer coupled with punk music. I mean, it's awesome. So Flogging Molly. And as far as I'm gonna name off just a couple quick new artists or newer artists. I love Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars is great. Oh gosh, who else? Ed Sheeran. I like Ed Sheeran. And there's probably some others. I probably forgot even a good handful already. But that's a good rundown of all the stuff that I'm really, really into. Um, so, again, I want to thank you guys for watching and sitting through all this. Hopefully you like some of these artists as well. Is there any particular artist you want me to check out? Leave me a comment below. Let me know. Um, and like I said, if there's any musicians out there, like I said, please be open about music. Listen to whatever you can, because, like I said, just there's so many great styles of music out there. And as a musician, you can really learn a lot of new things if you start, dabbling into other styles of music. So, I definitely encourage any musician out there to just have an open mind and just listen to just about anything, because it really does make a difference. Do want to thank you guys for watching and sitting through all this, and I'll try to start with some shorter ones now. So, all right, that is all from me, and hope everybody is having a good one, and then we'll talk to you later. Bye.